Hello and welcome everyone to my Let's Play Tomb Raider 3, The Adventures of Lara Croft. This is 115 speaking. Let me welcome you to the final Nevada chapter, the Area 51, as we can see. There are 3 secrets to be found here, 40 enemies to be killed and 40 items to be found, which is just an enormous amount. Now, first of all, let's just step outside of the physics-defying truck. We cannot really walk into an exterior area this time, like in the high security compound, so we just have to believe this is exactly how big it is. Now, just like in that previous warehouse in high security compound, there are a couple of goodies hidden behind crates. Well, not sure why I'm using plural, just one small health pack over here. Let me just start up by saying I absolutely love this level. It is not easy, but it is large. There is so much waiting for us up ahead. Its design is brilliant. There are many varied locations up ahead, and actually, strangely enough, I will be putting the grenade launcher to good use in this level, because as I said in the Caves of Kalia, with tough enough enemies who can weather out one grenade, we can actually get proper kill count if we injure them but kill them with a different weapon. I will also try to avoid using pistols from now on forward in Tomb Raider 3. We will see how that will go. I'm actually really curious. I have not tested this out. I have no idea what's up ahead, but let's just make, resource management a little bit more interesting. So no pistols from this point forward. Let's see what happens if I try and adopt that kind of mindset. Now, first of all, before you start eagerly going forward, make sure you draw the Desert Eagle, because we have a very unfriendly neighbor here, a guard with a baton. Make sure to put him out of his misery before he gets to this hand panel. If he does, he will summon a couple of lasers into this room, preventing us from accessing it and shredding us into pieces should you dare anyway. Now, I cannot say with absolute certainty there is no way to get through the lasers, but the best course of action is just to kill the guy and freely pick up the goodies. The goodies themselves being a generous amount of MP5 clips and also the beautiful, amazing weapon itself. I mean, look at it. It looks absolutely great. This weapon, this beauty over here, is pretty much the equivalent of M16 in Tomb Raider 2. Perfect accuracy, an absolute range, and massive ammunition consumption, but with it, damage as well. However, just like M16, it is also very unwieldy, being a two-handed weapon, just like shotgun. Now careful, if you flick the switch over here, there is a small, barely visible red laser on the tile we are standing on. So you can jump over it, although I tend to fail most of the times. Sometimes Lara just instantly dies, this being a red laser. Sometimes she makes it across, but the safest course of action is just to not touch the switch at all. Or if you do and die, and you just can't keep yourself away from doing it, just flick it back to its original position. It's as simple as that. Saying that, there's a button now over here allowing us to continue forward. Now, there's one thing about this level. It just feels like the developer's way of saying sorry for the loss we've suffered in high security compound. It is insanely generous when it comes to items. As I said, there are 40 items in this level, and there are 5 large health packs. I'm not entirely sure, we'll find out as we move on with the Let's Play, but I don't think there is a level with a higher amount of health packs than this one. Okay, Lara, keep going, quickly, quickly, quickly. Oh my goodness gracious, that was very close. How did we not get hit? I have no idea. Anyway, talking about health packs, here's another one. So yeah, there's quite a few of them here. And trust me, this level is dangerous. It's possible we'll have to put one of them to good use. Hopefully we'll avoid that altogether. Okay, now very careful over here. Actually, there's no need to be careful. Just make sure you have the Desert Eagle ready over here, because we are gonna crawl from this space. As soon as we reach a certain point, guard up ahead will notice us crawling. I don't know how these guys do it. They are so blind and deaf at some point, but at others, they just perceive everything. Make sure you put him out of his misery before he manages to touch another hand panel. Now, mind you, should he do it, it's not the end of the world. You will not miss anything. It will just put a couple of red lasers in your path. And honestly, I just, whilst we can get around them, I really like to prevent their evil schemes. So yeah. Now over here we have an optional cell with a very interesting piece of furniture. I'm not sure if it's a mattress, a couch with a couple of empty shelves, and with a huge dose of imagination it could be a fridge. Anyway, over here we have a small health pack and also a friendly prisoner. We can let him out. These guys can move through lasers, security guns, like there's no tomorrow. You know, they're completely unharmed by such security measures. I guess the security measures have some sort of identify friend foe system, and these guys are in the database to make sure no harm comes to them, because I don't know, maybe they're trying to auction them to different governments. Hard to say. Anyway, you know me by now. You know what's gonna happen. I'm sorry, but you still wouldn't make it out of this facility alive. Okay, I don't feel good about myself, but it has to be down for the kill count. These guys in this level, yeah, unlike in high security compound, there are only 2 prisoners, both can be killed, and both are really just a minor help if you let them loose. If you let them loose in some places, they will kill some of the guards, meaning you will not be awarded kills, but most of you probably don't care about having all the kills in statistics screen, you know, you just want to make it through the level and do a good job, perhaps. But yeah, I'm here to just give you an accurate count as possible. Now, over here is a turret that would be triggered by the green lasers over here. However, we can, you know, jump over them. And actually, on our way here, you can also just safely and reliably crawl over them. Make sure to tilt Lara like this, and then climb. This way you will not trigger the turret. Now, I will revisit this turret later, because turrets, as in high security compound, actually count as kills, but I do not want to engage it just yet. The reason is that that fight would alert this guard over here, and there is yet another hand panel that this guy can trigger. So, at least let me demonstrate the amazing accuracy and range of MP5. It's an absolute treat to use, and oh my god, those sound effects, they are great. Now, we killed this guard before he touched the hand panel, so we can get inside the storage room, which holds harpoons, grenades, and a rocket. Now, mind you, all of these will be very handy. Harpoons especially, because this being kill everything kind of let's play, we might have to resort to using harpoon gun in some later stages in the game. It's no secret there will be harpoon gun in Tomb Raider 3 as well. The button will just close the door behind you, so feel free to reopen them. And yeah, I just want to amass as many harpoons as I can, because I still remember the stressful situation we found ourselves in back in Tomb Raider 2 in the wreck of Maria Doria, where I wasn't sure if we can kill all that sea life, you know, underwater. Now, I told you I will be putting grenade launcher to good use, and I fully intend to keep that word. If you remember, in high security compound it took 5 shots from Desert Eagle to kill a turret. Now, turrets over here can definitely take a beating. If you hide behind the corner and they lose line of sight, when you come back they will cease fire. It's very useful, you can just shoot and hide. As you can see, the damage to our health has been minimal. Now, the turret has survived 2 shots from grenade. That is because every shot from grenade equals 2 shots from the Desert Eagle. So all it remains now is 1/5 shot of the Desert Eagle, and down the turret goes. Actually, sometimes these turrets explode and fall apart into little pieces, sometimes they just instantly disappear. But do not worry, your kill count is not affected by that. They still count. It's just a minor glitch like that. So yeah, not only turrets, but there will be also a third type of military police in this level who can take a significant amount of beating. We will meet this type of enemy actually right down below, but first of all, whoa! This is just like in the city of Vilcabamba in Tomb Raider 1, if you remember, yeah. It's a little trapdoor like that. The reason I'm still here is because I just wanted to show you the iron grate over here. Behind it is an area with 5 switches. We will find ourselves in this area much later on in the level, and when you look back through this grate you'll realize, oh my god, we've come all this way, done so much because of this iron fence. Yes, exactly, it's one of those teasing moments in level design, which I'm actually really fond of. Okay, now that we've dropped down, let's just make sure you keep to this side carefully, because there's something I'd like to explain. Most of you are probably interested in getting all the secrets, not only to unlock the bonus level, but for some sense of completion. Now, as long as this guy doesn't see us, although I'm we're fine, although I'm not sure how he does not see Lara's hand. This is tricky. We can kill this guard very quickly before he touches yet another hand panel, because once he does that, the entrance to the first secret of the level will be permanently blocked. So yeah. So you might be wondering, well, why am I hesitating? Why not just kill him with the Desert Eagle and be done with it? The reason is, if he does touch that hand panel, he will release 2 German Shepherd dogs to attack us. If he doesn't do that, we will not kill these dogs, and therefore we will not get all the kills in the level. So it's either secret or kills. No, there is a way to have both. And in order to do that, we need to get to the secret first, before he even notices we are here, and then kill him, whilst allowing him to summon the 2 dogs. So let's make a side flip. You take some really invisible minor damage, perhaps another side flip over here. And let's drop down here, because this is the way to the secret. Now make sure you ignore this guy with a baton, because fighting him will alert the soldier above. We got our hands on a health crystal. As you might have noticed, our health has been replenished. And now you might be thinking, okay, let's take care of this guy from crouching position. No, Lara will unfortunately not take aim for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. So instead, let's crawl out and engage him and make some ruckus. And this might or might not alert the soldier above. And there you go. The door to the secret, the crawl space, has closed. That is because the soldier above has taken notice once we started shooting. Therefore he touched that hand panel. Now, as you can hear, a couple of vicious animals growling. That's the dogs he released. Now, first of all, there we go. As you can see, he survived a grenade blast. Whoa! So all it takes is 1 shot from Desert Eagle, and watch out for the dogs. Each can take only 1 shot. Whew, good job, dare I say. We got all the kills and the secret. Now these guys don't drop anything, and yeah, just make sure to take a note of the grenades in the scroll space over here. Actually, if we would not find grenade launcher as part of a secret in the previous level, this is where it would have been. And also, interestingly enough, as hinted by the little shotgun shell box over here, shotgun is another pickup that we'll get our hands on in this level. So basically we'll recover our Lara's trusty weapons, plus the addition of the grenade launcher again and the MP5. But really, I'd like to think that, of course the pistols are Lara's, the original ones, but I like to think the shotgun is the same she brought with her to India, and the grenade launcher is the same she found next to Tony in Caves of Kalia, the MP5 weapon being the only new one. Which makes sense because, as you might have noticed, the soldiers above, even though it makes different sounds, they are actually carrying the same MP5. So it's really interesting to get into fair fights using the same weaponry with them. Okay, now this is the crawl space opposite of the secret. We have opened it by using the switch above, but let's just keep crawling. So using the grenade launcher in this level to just injure enemies is actually not very efficient, let's say. By doing that, we delay combat and make Lara hurt herself more than she would have otherwise, but since I don't want to use pistols anymore, we need to conserve as much ammunition as we can. Now, you can actually shoot this guy from through that grate above. Unfortunately, I unexpectedly dropped, which is most certainly not good. Not to worry though. If we go further into the facility, oh boy, we get a sense that this is a really big one. Now, let's just keep moving forward. I want to show you something. There is an intersection. Going left or right will bring us to exactly the same kind of area, both face downwards. And there are 2 turrets we can take care of. There are green lasers which will trigger one, yellow lasers which will trigger other and also hurt us in the process, thankfully not kill us. There is a much more efficient way to handle these turrets than just taking pot shots at them. But first of all, I think this is the 3rd large health pack in this level so far. Really large health pack generous. Now you might not see it, but there it is, our trusty shotgun. Okay, we've recovered all our assets. Plus we have the new MP5, amazing. Okay, but before we go any further using that shortcut, let's just run to this end over here. The reason is there is a fourth large health pack in the small prison cell over here. Let me see. But first we have to draw the prisoner out. And this being really evil kind of playthrough, let's take care of them both. Yeah, this actually summons the policeman as well as the prisoner. It's like, you know, they react to him getting out, they would start fighting each other. If you would let the prisoner live, he would move through all the lasers with no harm done to him, and he would start knocking people out, which is great help, mind you. However, this would also take away those precious kills from you if you care about that sort of thing. But otherwise, it's fun to just let this guy, you know, let loose on the facility and just single-handedly with his fists take on the entire army. It's really ridiculous. And he was clearly trying to dig a tunnel with his tin spoon. Oh my god, where did you come from? This is not good. There go our shotgun shells. No worries, however. This is the guy we've seen patrolling down below through the glass floor. But yeah, the fighting here must have alerted him somehow, which is good because there is another enemy, and this way we've just singled him out, so there'll be less threat. Now, instead of passing through the lasers and, you know, being shot at by the turrets, let's once again get into the crawl space over here. I just really wanted to get our hands on that shotgun first to use it on the prisoner and the guards. And there we go, we just made it past one corner with a turret. Now the turrets themselves are harmless as long as you don't trigger them by passing through the trigger lasers or by shooting them. Now let me show you something really interesting. Once again, like the previous turret, let's use the grenade launcher. But once use a forward roll to drop away from their line of sight, they will get stuck and stop shooting. Now, shooting at them again will re-trigger this. But in the process, you will take little to almost no damage. And now, you know, since I'm not using a pistol, I'll just switch to Desert Eagle. And down it goes. Instead of disappearing this time, it just exploded. And the same thing we can do with that turret on the other side of the room, but first we need to get across via the safe path. First of all, let me show you something here. You can see a green snapshot of a door up there. This is the room. We are actually checking camera footage on what is through across that door. And if you notice this small space over here, which is too tiny to be crawled through, you can see the guard's feet through that. You know, you can kind of be observant and tell there's some danger outside, well, inside. Okay, and once again, let's take highly accurate long-range pot shots at the soldier over there. Very well done. Okay. And on this side over here, there is another, you know, small space that is too thin to be crawled through. Once again, on the other side of the room, we get another camera view with a screenshot with the guard, you know, patrolling that room up top. And we can take a look at what's inside. So this way we can tell there is an ambush up ahead. We can prepare ourselves accordingly. Now, first of all, let's take care of another turret in the same fashion as we did with the one before that. Okay, just make a forward roll. Almost no harm done. Once again, almost no harm done. And just use that final boom shot. And both turrets taken care of. Well done, Lara. You are actually obeying my commands. Okay. Now, I've been talking about an ambush. You know what, there is a safe way and there is fun way we can do this. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna try and use grenade launcher, Desert Eagle and MP5 at the same time. Let's see what happens, let's see what happens. Okay, okay, grenade, Desert Eagle, okay, MP5. Oh my god, where did you run off to? Whoa! Okay, whoa, that could have gone better. I don't know why this guy started running away from us. I guess his morale was really low after that ambush failed horribly. Anyway, he dropped a small health pack, so make sure to keep a note of him. And yeah, as you can see, the door has closed, unfortunately, so you might be wondering, well, what do we do next? We find a way around by opening a small crawl space in the right room. And actually, an interesting detail, you have these cameras we used to look through into the room in the corners over there. I think that's just a really amazing, lovely detail, you know? It's so cute, actually. Okay, let's scroll through. We get a camera shot. Actually, let's interrupt the camera shot, because interestingly enough, there is a narrow space there as well, but which leads to a dead end. I have absolutely no idea why that is there. It's probably to place the camera so it can show Lara, because solid surfaces would block it. Yeah, that's actually interesting. Could be why. Anyways, I don't think we have any more shotgun shells. Nope. Okay, so instead, let's charge through the security lasers. And yep, this guy comes running. There is no way to avoid triggering them, but all it does is just make this guy, you know, charge at you and sounds an alarm that should shut itself off automatically after a short while. Now we come to an intersection. Before you go here, be patient please. I know it looks like an interesting area, but on the right here we will find a key item that is necessary for us to complete the challenge in the left room. Oh my god, he's taking potshots at us. Okay, I prefer to charge this guy because MP5 being a two-handed weapon is unwieldy, meaning if Lara starts running, she needs to re-aim. If she stops running, she needs to re-aim. So if you run and keep firing during the entire duration of the run, or sprint, depends what you prefer to be more epic, she will continuously fire and will not have to realign her aim, so to speak. So yeah, it's really useful to just charge this guy with MP5. Since he's doing the same, it's kind of a justice, isn't it? Now, I think we can... Whoa, make a jump. It's not easy through the safety railing. What we picked up over here is a code clearance disc. Now, we can make a jump back, of course, which is slightly more difficult, but I would like to kind of explain to you what is it we are trying to achieve in this area. When I was young, I used to think this is a space rocket. Now I'm older, less innocent. This is a nuclear missile, okay? Now, amongst many other things, one of our objectives in this level will be to launch it. Yes, do not ask me why, I do not possess the answers just yet. But for that, we will need to access the area below and press a button, which is protected by a panel, which is protected by a magnetic lock for which we need a card. In order to get to the card, we will need to enter a large subway system, and first we will need to unlock it using a very familiar console, which requires what we know from high security compound to be a yellow access key, although it will bear a different name in this particular level. So a lot of slots for many key items, yet we have a disk that we cannot insert anywhere. This can get really confusing and a bit frustrating. So you need to actually go back. This is where our journey exploring the nuclear missile silo ends, unfortunately abruptly. There is quite a bit of backtracking involved in this level. Yeah, that's one of the downsides. However, once you realize the logical sequence of why you do certain things, I find it to be just a great joy to play through. Saying that, I will pop a small health pack here because we will have to lose some health if we are to get rid of a turret in the room. In that corner over there, let's see. The longer the distance, the lower the turret's accuracy. So actually, oh, this is a lovely shot of MP5. Actually, Lara will lose less health. As you can see, we are not losing health too quickly. We took actually a very minor amount of health down. The reason is the bigger the distance between you and the turret, of course, the lower the turret's accuracy. However, with MP5 it does not matter. The weapon has perfect accuracy, probably because of the attached scope. That's what they were trying to do there. So yeah, I wanted to take care of that turret first because there is a very trickily placed laser I always seem to trigger even though I'm aware of it. A green security laser. Oh, I think you can see it from this angle. Yeah, ahead of us. It's, you know, that green thingy. Should you step through it, and from this angle it's invisible. But let's step through it. An alarm should be sounded. Yep, we can hear it already, and the turret gun would keep shooting at us. Also, it is way too high up for us to reach with a grenade launcher, unfortunately. So I think MP5 is the best way to get rid of it, or of course if you are not interested in all the kills, avoid that laser I've just showed you. It just spans the entirety of the room on that particular slope. Row, actually. This is why we needed the CD to vertically put it into a computer. I hate it when computers accept CDs vertically. Feels like they're just gonna destroy them. And we lifted a couple of artillery missiles. The entire reason was, no, this hook only guards a couple of shotgun shells, but you know, you can just avoid it entirely by simply climbing over here. But no, the entire reason was to reach the ladder from this platform over here. But before we go up, let me just show you this. Okay, there is a corridor beneath the glass floor, and you can see perhaps a little shade of green. There is a health crystal. It would be blue if this would be a PS1 version with a save crystal. This is where the second secret of the game is. Now, make a running jump to grab the ladder. We will actually, no, we can get there now. Why wait? Whoa, Lara, what are you doing? We can trigger the laser, doesn't matter, the turret is dead. Okay, so I have said I will not be using pistols in this level, and I intend to keep my word. Do you see that ventilation? Great. Let's just... There we go. All it took was one bullet. You can destroy just like breakable glass in Tomb Raider 2, which is really vicious because we haven't seen that kind of mechanic in Tomb Raider 3 so far. This is the first time, I think. And yeah, our reward being the second secret along with a save or health crystal. And if you look up, you can now see we are beneath those artillery missiles, although they seem to be hollow from the inside for some strange reason. Yeah. Anyways, that's it. So you can take the secret now, or you can even take it later, because where we are headed now is pretty much just the ceiling of this area from which we will need to drop down. So yeah, it's really up to you. Depends on when you need that health. Actually, come to think of it, I realized since there will be an enemy on the ceiling, I could have taken the crystal a bit later to heal whatever injuries he might have caused. Oh well. Okay. And let's go up without further ado. This level, I really like it. Not sure if I said this already, but it really reminds me of a Tomb Raider 2 level kind of design. There is some backtracking involved, but several varied locations, key items, sense of progression, all the good stuff. I think this is my favorite Tomb Raider 3 level. We'll see as we go through the Let's Play if I'll change the opinion, but there are great things waiting up ahead for us. Now yeah, if you just take a look around the corner, there's a solitary soldier over there. We need to drop this guy because he carries the yellow security key that will lead us to the subway that I've been talking about. Now of course, this being a soldier boy, he can take one shot from a grenade, and Lara will not hit her head on this angled ceiling if you jump correctly. What? You were not supposed to use shotgun, Lara. You were supposed to shoot him with a Desert Eagle. What the hell? Okay, I pressed 2 instead of 3 on the keyboard. Oh dear God. Serves me right for being inaccurate. Anyway, yeah, there we have it. Hangar access key. That's what we were after this entire time. Now, I do not suggest you try and grab the ladder. There always seems to be some invisible barrier knocking me down when I try to do that. I have absolutely no knowledge as to why. I think in order to make the safest drop, we can maybe use this spot over here. Yes, exactly. Actually, can we jump up? Nah, okay, so you do need that ladder. Okay. And, yeah. I did not want to waste that shot. Okay, I think the next police baton guy we see, we will not hit with shotgun and Desert Eagle. Well, not with just shotgun, but with both shotgun and Desert Eagle. A little variety is a spice of life, I guess. So yeah, now we have to return to the familiar missile silo. Actually, we can just drop down. And yeah, continue through the tunnel I showed you. And yeah, this fits into that yellow security console. So there's no reason to go down just yet. There we go, awesome. Now let's keep it quiet over here. Actually, it doesn't matter if you walk or run, this guy will not notice you until you approach from certain distance. Nevertheless, you know what, let me open up with a shotgun. He's like, what was that? That wasn't nice. Okay, that's a typical reaction to having your back blasted away by a shotgun. These guys are tough, make no mistake. What this area is a little subway station. Yes, there is actually a subway tunnel we will have to use to reach our next destination. Now, you might be wondering, okay, why don't we just follow the tracks? Do you see the bluish glow on them? That's actually electricity pulsating through them. So I'm be thinking, okay, let's go on the side of the tracks. No, there is electricity pulsating on the sides as well. So I'm be thinking, okay, let's go beneath the tracks, yeah? No, there is a block preventing us from moving forward. So we need to find some sort of other strategy of getting across. Now, it will involve summoning the train itself actually with just a little button press over here in the control room, which is very awkwardly accessible. I cannot imagine maintenance personnel just going and coming and leaving this particular place. Very strange. Anyway, let's not, you know, look at Tomb Raider level design with too much realism. That's not what it's supposed to be. There we go, we press a button and the train is here. I really wish it would make some sort of sound, you know. I also wish the snapshot over here wouldn't be of that double door, but instead of the train itself as a hint what we just did. But yeah, there is no sound cue, nothing. You just suddenly see this box resembling a train, you know, parked here. Also, wasn't it not supposed to stop at the station? How do people get in? This is so weird. This is the weirdest train ever. And the way to access it... No, we are not gonna go inside the train. We need to jump on top of it from this corridor over here, which, by the way, holds a shotgun if you have not found it in the small crawl space a couple of minutes ago. And what I do is I just make a standing jump, no need to even make it a grabbing jump. Lara will just align herself just right. And yeah, now that you are on top of the car, the train car, you can see there is a way to continue up ahead. Now be very careful here. This I remember when I played it, you know, the first time in my life, I have actually thought, okay, why is there a different, you know, grating than before? The one before was solid, so this one will surely be some kind of trap, you know. And I was correct. And as you monkey swing forward, you will of course hear and see them drop, which would drop you exactly on top of the electrified tracks, so you don't want that. Thankfully the security laser over here, some seriously expensive rodent protection, it gives you just enough time to make it through, so yeah. Okay, and now, actually, let me show you something really interesting. Now, the music is saying, kill me before I do something horrible. But if you are interested in getting all the kills, just follow this guy peacefully, let him get on with his business. But, you know, keep your shotgun ready, we are not friends yet. The reason is... well... yeah, he summoned a friend of his. Who started running away from us. Okay, how do I even begin to explain? If you let this guard live, when he reaches this point, this will make that soldier spawn. It's like calling for assistance, you know. There is not a particular hand panel he will trigger, he will just walk here, which will cause the soldier to spawn over here. If you kill him too early, the soldier will never spawn. That's the entire point. That's why the dramatic music says, kill me before I do something bad, that being something good in our case because we are after all the kills. The thing is, that soldier was supposed to assist him. Instead, he started running off as soon as he saw the first hint of blood. Wow, so much for friendship and loyalty. Dear God, these guys. Okay, and because of that I had to waste expensive MP5 ammunition instead of, you know, launching a grenade in his face and finishing him off with single Desert Eagle shot. Oh dear God. What's worse, there are two turrets up ahead, which once again we will not be able to tackle with grenade launcher because they are way too high and the corner beneath them is not accessible. It is too narrow and we would slip. So instead, let's do something we've used in the artillery missiles room. Let's snipe them from safe distance. They cannot reach us, and boom. You can actually take controlled bursts of the weapon to save up as much ammunition as you want, and you see, no harm done to us, the turret is gone. Now, there are a couple of lasers here. Now, the green ones would trigger the turret, of course. If you're not too confident about jumping over them, because, you know, strange things sometimes happen, oops, just feel free to shimmy to the left over them. They are low enough so Lara will not touch them with her feet. This is the most reliable way I found. Also, there is a yellow laser here. Once again, it is higher, but you can jump above it. If you're not certain about it, don't try to shimmy. This will not work on it. Lara will touch it with her feet. Instead, crawl. Yeah, it's as simple as that. And once again, we repeat the same thing. There is another turret. Just make sure to walk close enough for Lara to take aim. And fire! Come on, you could just disappear now, surely. Whew, okay. As you can see, we are down to 53 shots, which is atrocious. But, you know, there is no better way to use the MP5. I mean, the normal human enemies we can tackle using our Desert Eagle instead. The range and accuracy is crucial when it comes to facing turrets from a safe distance. Now, let's climb on top of a couple more Majestic crates over here. Yes, Majestic conspiracy, it will actually be revisited. And you know what? Let this guy get on with his job, okay? Do not harm him just yet. The reason is we want him to touch that hand panel, because by doing that, he will summon a soldier friend of his. Which is great, we are after all the kills, right? Unfortunately, this will also trigger not green and thankfully not red, but yellow lasers all across the room, making traversal extremely dangerous, difficult, and actually a big deal painful. Okay, now let me explain what happens in the control room. Oh, actually, we can also take care of the the turret gun over here. I think it should not be able to fire at us from this spot. Let me see. Okay, we are nicely covered. Ha! See? It cannot shoot at us. Oh, this is wonderful. Once again, no damage taken from the turret, so use the computer screen as your cover. Okay, now, the entire point of this room... Ooh, how would I begin to explain? Oh shit, what was that? Is there a laser here as well? Can you see anything? Oh, on the ground. Above the grate. Oh my goodness gracious. These things are invisible. Sometimes I wonder if this is because I have the widescreen resolution patch applied, or if they are as invincible in the base game as well, because I seem to remember having issues seeing them even whilst playing the PS1 version. So just make sure to jump across halfway through here, and oh my god, we are being fired upon, but there's no time. Lara, step away from the yellow laser, please. Great, now we have to use another one. And sprint, sprint, sprint. Okay. Ooh. We've just made it. Unfortunately, we ended up interrupting the wonderful music. Oh well, what can you do? Now mind you, yeah, these are timed. That's the reason why I ignored both soldiers that we triggered by pressing each of the buttons. Oh my god. And you see there is a pit. If you fall into that pit, if you time your actions poorly, Lara will break her neck. It is that deep. So yeah, this is a time challenge. This is why I ignore the soldier. You can, of course, you know, first take care of them and then repress the buttons and do it all over again. The reason I left them hanging there is that we will revisit that room very shortly. There are a couple of switches for us to take care of first. Oh, and along with the switches, we are not alone in here. Whoa! Ha! Tricked you, didn't it? These guys have actually really good maneuvers. They're very difficult to be fooled by Lara. They keep following you around even if you jump above them using a mid-air roll. However, if you then backflip back, they seem to be confused for a little. So that's what I did there. Anyway, does this look familiar to you? The switch, the trapdoor, this is where we were at the beginning of the level, just before we stealthily sneaked into the very first secret when we dropped down into the exterior area with the first soldier and the 2 dogs. So yeah, all we've been going through so far was just to reach the other side of this iron fence. That switch that was supposed to open it instead dropped us down and tricked us. My goodness gracious. Now, there are 5 switches here. If you press the first one from the right, you will get a shot of hangar door. If you press the second one from the right, you will get a shot of the hangar door. If you press the third one from the right, nothing will happen. If you press the fourth one from the right, you will get a shot of the hangar door opening. I think this means the first 2 and the fourth one all need to be pressed to open the hangar door, and if you press the 5th one, nothing will happen. It's as simple as that, but you know, just for the sake of completion, I really wanted to press them, and you can then take a shorty cut over here. Now there is a very difficult task ahead of us, which will probably involve me using a large health pack in the process. Oh dear God. There are 2 soldiers there, and there are also yellow lasers all over the goddamn place. Okay. Okay. Jump, Lara. No, don't hit your head. Lara, you are so incredibly stupid today. What's wrong with you? Haven't you had your morning tea? Actually, no, you probably did not. Okay. Lara, please stop hitting your head over everything, would you kindly? Okay, and there's another one who needs our attention, so make sure you use the computer as a relatively safe spot. Make sure not to hit your head just like I did. And yes, we are using our grenade Desert Eagle combo. Now, probably something I haven't explained yet, make sure to never be in their line of sight when they are dying. When they make their final gasp for breath when dying, they can still take pot shots at you, those vengeful bastards. So make sure you are either well within range, you know, probably killing them with MP5, or you jump to the side or over them, because otherwise they will take some health away from you unnecessarily, just to tell you. Enjoy this, you bitch. Okay. Anyway, I think we are finished with what I find to be the nastiest part of this level. The cost of which was, well, yep, me popping in a couple of health packs. Our health pack usage is 2 by now. This is atrocious. But okay, this is not that kind of playthrough, you know, this is not me showing off some great skills. This is just showing you all the resources at your disposal. You of course don't have to let the first police guy trigger that hand panel, and the lasers wouldn't be there in the first place. Okay. And there it is. Oh my God. Everything you knew was a lie. The myth is busted. The conspiracy revealed. You can trust nobody. The key's in the triangle. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The UFO, it is real. Wow. Project Majestic. So it wasn't just a subtle reference on all those crates. There it is. A UFO held by American government in Tomb Raider universe. And it will get even more interesting from this point onward. Unfortunately, you have to be a bit patient first. There will be a great deal of challenges we'll have to go through to find, well, to get our hands on another CD-ROM to vertically insert into another computer. This one has green stripes on top of it, so it is actually green CD we are looking for. Now, in order to do that, we need to get on top of the UFO, which holds a key item, which is not the CD, it is something else entirely, just to complicate things a little. Yes. Okay, let's just climb up the huge ladder, and I'll explain when we're up top. Okay, and if we make a backflip here, we should land safely. Yes. And also trigger the wonderful climbing high point vista ladder, I don't know, vertigo kind of music that you know from Tomb Raider 2. My memory association is always with the ladders in Barkang Monastery. That's what I tend to trigger as well. This is exactly the same one, unchanged, carried over to Tomb Raider 3. Which is really great. It's like, you know, meeting that old friend you haven't seen in a while. Oh my god, the evening desert sky. It's hard to imagine this was everything from Nevada desert to high security compound all the way to Area 52 here. It was just one day. One morning, afternoon, evening, and an approaching night. Now, you can jump. I guess the idea is to jump, you know, through all these on the sides and safely drop onto the railway over there. But what you really need to do is just make that one jump over here and then make a running jump on the catwalk. It's sufficient, you will take no falling damage or anything. Before we drop down on top of the UFO, let me just show you the door over there. This is the way to the third and final Nevada secret. Now, in order to open it, we need to insert that Grease CD into the console. It will actually open this door, another door, and also entrance into the UFO, which the game doesn't really tell you, yeah? So just keep a note of that. That door will open once we insert the disc inside. Now, whilst our heart desires the green disc, instead we find a launch code pass, some security card. Now, I guess the puzzle hint should be in the title, you know, launch. Was there something in this facility that, you know, would require to be launched? Yes, it is exactly what you're thinking. It's the nuclear missile. We are going to launch a nuclear strike so that Lara can get her hands on her trinket. She doesn't yet even know what these artifacts do. She just likes them, wants to collect them, and put her in her vault in Croft Manor. And in order to do that, she kills everyone in her path and is even willing to remove some third world country from the map. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Maybe Lara will reconsider, right? I mean, surely she has some redeeming qualities. But I wouldn't have my hopes up. Also, she's been awfully quiet lately. That I find to be very suspicious. She's up to no good. Now, yes, unfortunately, getting back to that missile requires some significant backtracking through the subway tunnel. So what we have to do is monkey swing across. This is a bit more challenging from this direction because it's more time sensitive, but immediately as the lasers start turning back, jump up and grab. And once here you are safe. You can notice that by the white texture on the sides, as opposed to the grey, black, brownish one, the white ones are safe, the darker ones mean danger. Make sure to make it to the last tile, so you will drop safely here, not on top of the tracks. Now you can drop on top of the tram and just drop down safely on the side. Okay, and we find ourselves at the subway station. The guy we brutally murdered. Good, fond memories. Okay, now instead of returning directly to the missile silo, we need to get beneath it. We have a conveniently placed shaft over here with a ladder for our way back, and this should be a very familiar looking piece of door, exactly the same ones were used in the Wreck of Maria Doria and Living Quarters, although they had these rusty wheels attached to them that Lara was just prying open. That was so satisfying, the creaking oiled noises it made. Okay, and by inserting the card over here, we lift a bulletproof panel preventing us from pressing a button. There is a reason why this button is so well protected. Let me show you. Okay, Lara, go, 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 go! My god, this was so close! I decided not to interrupt the first camera shot, hence I could not move properly. Please don't do that. Please interrupt the first camera shot and make sure you start running all the way to the safe room over here. Oh, wow. Well, this was fun. This was great. I'm surprised they keep all this computer equipment in a room where fire, you know, singes everything. It's really odd choice and design. But there you have it. We have successfully launched a missile and declared on some country. I bet Lara on her plane on the way back will just watch the news and, you know, start thinking what mark she has left on the world, literally. Lara, what have you removed from the world map? Sri Lanka? Tell me. I don't think she knows anyway. Holy hell, she could have nuked her own mansion in Surrey and she wouldn't even know about that. Poor Winston. But I'm sure his helmet protects him now. Okay. And now, you might be wondering, so what the hell was the What have we hit? What the hell was the entire reason to launch this nuclear missile? Do you know what the reason is? Would you like to know? Okay, let me show you what the entire reason was. Why thousands upon thousands of families had to be eradicated and died. Why future generations will suffer from radiation and genetic disorders. Let me show you. This. Yep, that's it. This trapdoor over here is why. That's the reason. So we can climb up the ladder. Yeah. That's it. I mean, that's really all. Oh, but consolation prize, say large health pack. Huh. So yeah. It's one thing getting on Lara's bad side, but she murders people she's not even aware of. How is that even... Oh dear God, no! Keep that baton away. Instead, let's... I love how patiently he was waiting, like, you launched my nuclear missile, I was supposed to press the button, you will pay for this. Okay, so, yeah, we have 2 shots just for you. Oh my goodness gracious, you are fast. And utterly dead. Okay, I just love the guy, you know, on guard duty. Oh my God, I'm guarding this missile and suddenly, you know, I'm not even being aware, I'm not being told we are nuking some country, and he just sees this crazy woman with a grin on her face climbing up a ladder like, that was my job, yeah, that's all me. Oh, and just, you know, polishing that baton. I'm gonna murder you for this. It's really hilarious when you think about it. Okay, now be careful here and patient. Yep, there's a very evil red laser over here, but just feel free to jump over it, maybe even sprint a little, and make sure to crawl back. But once inside the crawl space you are safe. Opposite of us is a pair of grenades, which in this particular level are coming in very handy. We'll see what the future levels will hold. And well, we now climbing from top of the nuclear missile silo, we find ourselves in a little exterior area which feels lovely. We have a great music playing and we catch some fresh air, finally, after being trapped in that facility since high security compound. Yeah, the best way is to snipe this guy. Oops, no more shotgun shells. Okay, then Desert Eagle will do fine. There we go. So yeah, it's good to catch a little bit of the dying sun, you know, catch some fresh air after being boxed in for so long. Also, just notice that patch of water over there. I don't know why that is the case. It seems to me like it's hinting, oh, you can get outside, the water is getting outside too. No, actually not. If you do try to jump over the fence, you will land on top of it. It's a solid surface. Unfortunately, it is entirely electrified. Lara will be fried to death, and actually, death by electricity is not even entertaining. She will just instantly lose her health and die, just like stepping on a red laser. There is no, you know, specific animation or anything. The water here is safe, but do not touch the fence, please. Also, there are no warning labels on the fence itself. It's as if the whole personnel heard about Lara, you know, approaching the more and more secret and well-guarded areas of the facility, and they decided, okay guys, if our firepower will fail against this crazy woman, let's at least remove the warning labels to make sure she touches the fence and dies. It's really hilarious if you think about it. And there is also a conspicuous trapdoor over here that we will trigger soon enough. But first, on to introducing ourselves with a grenade, because why not? Oh my god, can you stop that please? Whew! That I could have handled better. Okay, but finally, there's the prize we want for our secret, and in order to get into the UFO, another code clearance disc, but this time a green one. So yay for us! And you might be thinking, okay, so we need to backtrack through the subway, across the nuclear missile silo, all the way to the UFO. Yes, however, by opening the trapdoor over here, you will get an absolutely amazing shortcut, leading to a corridor that will be very familiar to us. I love shortcuts like these. Okay, make sure you crouch in time. Whoa! Okay, that was very close. The spinning animation actually saved us, not our positioning. Christ almighty. Okay, good. And now let's just climb down. Now this is the second subway station. We are exactly at the destination where we want to be. The station of the UFO, the core of Area 51. Okay. And with that code clearance disk, oh my god, I bet you are excited to see what's gonna happen next. Trust me, it is not going to disappoint you in the least. Crazy things are up ahead. Okay. Oh, I mentioned the secret door and the UFO being opened by it. There is also this door that will be opened by the code clearance disk. And there is also this door that will be opened by the code clearance disk. So there's actually 3 doors and the UFO entrance. But actually, why am I talking about it when it's about to happen? That was a lot of sounds of a lot of heavy doors opening. Now, oh my goodness, how can we resist walking in here, right? Look at this. Let's leave the health crystal alone, or just grab it instantly if it's a safe crystal. There is a dissected alien in here. It looks like a really, you know, classical looking alien. Kind of greenish tint, big heads, round black eyes. You know, very stereotypical classic alien look. What I find fascinating is that there is, first of all, spot for another one. So you might be wondering, okay, where the hell is the other guy? Also, he's missing a finger and he's been cut up open, and as you can see, those are bones that look a lot like steel wiring or some titanium. It's as if these aliens are advanced enough to actually regrow their bones into something far stronger, you know, far stronger than a human bone, I mean. It's like they are part machine, part flesh, if that makes sense. And that I find to be, you know, kind of an interesting theory, which I think will be supported by what we will see later on up ahead inside that UFO. But first of all, let's take a look at the third secret. It is right inside this fish tank, although these are orcas. I'm not sure if they're... I think they're mammals, just like dolphins, right? They're not classified as fish. So yeah, this kind of takes us back to Lara's home, you know, with the racetrack key being inside. This time there's once again only a safe crystal in a secret. Every secret in this level is just about a safe or health crystal, nothing else. But it will be very interesting once we get inside. There is a particular sound these orcas make underwater that you can only hear when close to them in underwater. There is a reason why there's all these recording equipment and computers around. Now, we've been wondering where the other alien is. There. Now, this guy, I don't think he is dead. I've read some actually interesting discussions online, you know, on old forums, Tomb Raider 3 fans. People think that this guy has been put into some sort of stasis so that these orcas can help communicate between him and the American government. It's, you know, clearly we do not have the same language, they did not communicate well, so instead they decided to put him here and somehow use the orcas' sound waves to carry ideas across, or something like that. It's really interesting and creepy stuff if you think about it. Especially if you think that alien is still alive. Ooh. Okay, so we have to resist the temptation to get into the UFO if we are interested in all the secrets. So, unfortunately, yes, we have to climb up this ladder once more. Yep. Okay, almost there. Actually, I'm kind of hoping we will retrigger the ladder music from Tomb Raider 2. Let's see. Huh, probably not. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit disappointed about that. But actually, we can once again jump across the entire circuit, or we can take a bit of a shortcut, which might be a bit risky, but after all the risks we've taken... screw it, I'm totally gonna do this. If you try and jump on the ledge over there, you can see it's slightly more narrow. It means Lara will slide down and fall to her death. That is why they encourage you to jump across all these to reach that one, to make it onto the catwalk, although we took a shortcut. This time it's going to be no exception. We will take a shortcut to that secret door, which as you can see is now successfully open. So, let's jump right in. Remember to keep holding that action key so Lara will not hit her head, but slide down instead. Okay, and this is a bit tricky, but entirely possible. Run, Lara, run, run, run. Good. Way back will be slightly more difficult. It's about making a very accurate jump, but entirely possible to make it through without a scratch. And guess where we are? Yes, that's them. Let's dive right in, and I'm gonna keep quiet now, just listen. Okay, was that fascinating or what? That was the kind of sound waves I was talking about a while earlier when we were in the exterior of that tank. It's as if they are trying to communicate to the alien, or maybe what we heard was the alien speaking back. How creepy is that? Okay, now these orcas present a bit of a dilemma to me. As you know me by now, I like to kill things in Tomb Raiders, yeah? Unfortunately, I have no harpoon gun to kill them, yeah? However, there is no way, legitimately speaking of course, to have a harpoon gun in this level. Whether you play Nevada as first, middle or last, after high security compound you need to rediscover harpoon gun. So there will be no harpoon gun in this level. Therefore we cannot really pull it out and start aiming at them and see if at all they are killable. So what I did was I just tried to lure them in here and, you know, started taking aim, see what will happen. Lara will not aim at them even if they are clearly within sight. So this brings me to an interesting dilemma. Are these things killable or not? The only way to find out is by having harpoon gun. The only way to have a harpoon gun in here is by using the all weapons cheat or some kind of save file editor. Either way, not by you know, strictly legitimate means. So, if any of you have actually used the all weapons cheat in the high security compound, or, you know, feel like using it in the game, basically if for whatever reason some of you find yourselves here with a harpoon gun, please let me know if Lara aims at the orcas, if shooting at the orcas with it deals any damage, if they are killable even if you hit them with 100 harpoons or so. I would just really like to know. Unfortunately, legitimately, there is no way of finding out. But I don't think, seeing as Lara is not aiming at them, even if they are in clear line of sight, I don't think she would aim at them with the harpoon gun either. It's, once again, something I cannot prove unless I would decide to use the cheat, which I will not. As I said, the game is running in a very fragile state currently, and I'm happy I managed to make it run here, so I will not risk corrupting anything. But if some of you manage to use the all weapons cheat, oh my god, that could have gone a bit better. Not to worry. Should have jumped earlier to avoid taking damage. Anyway, if some of you use that cheat and pull out the harpoon gun on those orcas down there, please let me know what the result is. Now, seeing that there is no safer way to descend from that secret, you cannot get out of the fish tank directly. Fish tank, orca tank. You have to drop down, taking about half your health bar in damage, which is exactly why I decided to save this health crystal for a later use, because now we find ourselves with part of the health fully restored. There's also the small amount of health that's been taken away from us by that laser, because I jumped too late. Oh well. Now, here is another fascinating physics-defying thing. Now, except for the obvious stuff of the UFO levitating, you know, being suspended in the air, okay, how would I put it? Can you just, you know, see how small the UFO is? Yeah, kind of like the truck in high security compound that we entered to finish level. If, however, we find ourselves climbing in, which we need to in order to progress. Look at this. It is actually enormous from the inside. Well, this is not a good example of that, but I'm trying to get some kind of camera angle here. Let me see if we can see the interior and exterior at the same... Oh, there we go, there we go. So now we can see the exterior, but during the transitions you can see the purple wall texture clipping with the exterior, just instantly spawning there. Whoa, so we are outside, now we are inside. It's like we are entering some sort of, you know, just like with the truck, another bigger dimension. Oh, with really nefarious music playing. Now, as you have figured out by now, this thing is bigger than it looked. This thing is definitely much bigger. Oh dear God. And what really creeps me out is the fact that, well, it is so fleshy, so organic. It's disgusting. I wouldn't want to be here. It's like being inside some creature's intestines, you know? It's... ugh. Imagine the smell of this place. And we are not alone here. There is a commando squad exploring this site as well. So it was one grenade well used. Okay, we jumped out of his line of sight to make sure he's not taking pot shots at us. I don't believe this guy drops anything. Now there should be 2 more enemies just like this, but this is where things get even more interesting when we climb in. There is machinery. This is some sort of technology. These are wires, circuits running around with actually nice floor tiles. They look like some semblance of culture. However, the ceiling is organic, it is fleshy, it is disgusting. So once again, this brings me to the theory these aliens have managed to merge organic material with technology. Just like their bodies having those strange wiry bones, this is a good example of organic tissue combined with technology. I just hope the UFO is not alive somehow and self-aware, because that would really creep me out. And we can see these actually really cute control panels, you know, made to suit their 4-fingered hands. It's really adorable. Yeah, all of them look the same. They have 4 command chairs in this command center here. And there's our prize in the middle. However, we have 2 more of these guys to take care of. Yes, Desert Eagle is exactly the weapon I want. And you know what? Let's have a submachine gun fight with the last one. Where are you? Whoa! Whew! Got out of his line of sight as well at the last moment. Okay, great. And that's it. That's it. We should have exactly 40 kills by now. Yes. That's it for all the enemies, prisoners and turret guns in this level. And now you can actually ignore them entirely and just go straight for the prize and pick up the next artifact. I believe this one is called Element 115. I guess that's how the American government classified this piece of meteorite. It seems to be some sort of power energy core for the spaceship. So this material might entirely come from the aliens' home planet or something like that. Either way, let's pick it up. And there we go, Area 51 took us 1 hour and 7 minutes, making it, I think, the longest level so far. Unsurprisingly, it is enormous. We have found all 3 secrets, we have killed all 40 enemies and potential allies and a few pieces of machinery. Actually, if you would let the 2 prisoners live, you would have 38 kills. Unless, of course, they would end up killing some enemies and stealing kills away from you. If you would not destroy the turrets, you would, of course, along with that, have 31 kills. And if you also would not let the first soldier summon the 2 dogs, you would have, I think, 29 kills. So, as you can see, the amount really varies on your playstyle. I was out to get everyone, and we ended up using 2 health packs in the process, so there's a price to be paid for everything. And on top of that, we have found all 40 generous items in this level, so I'm super happy about that. With the next press of the button, we find ourselves on the globe screen. Now, we can either go to London or South Pacific. Now, one of the reasons I also wanted to play Nevada first was that, as you have noticed now, there is no boss fight in the last level, in the ultimate stage, whereas both London and South Pacific have stage dedicated to a boss fight, more or less. Whereas Nevada has nothing like that. There was no boss fight, there was just fight with 3 soldiers inside UFO, which, don't get me wrong, was amazing, but you know, not really challenging. So I also feel the dramatic part of the story and the difficulty are increased if you play Nevada first. Also, the reason I would like to start South Pacific before London is that I find Homecoming to be far more appropriate after we've dealt with all the other locations, and also I find the story to be most interesting in London, and the villain to be very interesting. And she will hold significance even beyond Tomb Raider 3. So I would really like to keep London as the last place to go. So instead, where we will go next time is probably the aesthetically most beautiful location of Tomb Raider 3, that is the South Pacific Islands. And as we'll be, you know, running around the globe collecting the artifacts, we'll soon find out what kind of names they've been given. The Infada stone in India has been given its name due to sort of sacred religious significance. It was worshipped, whereas in direct opposite with that, what we just picked up, which we will explore in our inventory screen in the next video, was element 115. So you can see the difference between a scientist encountering something and you know, some native primitive people encountering something and starting worshipping it. So I think it's a really good touch like that, and all the different artifacts will have different names and different shapes and forms based on where we find them. But enough about that. Thank you very much for being with me across our journey through Nevada, all the way from nature to dirty government facility. I think South Pacific is going to be a great change of scenery. We are once again going to be in a beautiful natural jungle environment. Yeah, so keep looking forward to that, and I'll see you guys next time in the coastal village.